Navitas Semiconductor was founded to change the world, and right now we are the only pure-play next-generation semiconductor company in the world where we are focusing on developing gallium nitride and silicon carbide products that are both reliable and are energy efficient. So before Tensoft, we were really operating as a company within Excel. We had a couple products, we tried to value our inventory in Excel spreadsheets, and we quickly understood that that wasn't a scalable solution.
So when we started Navitas, it's a lean organization, and I am just the sole person here in supply chain doing the purchasing, order fulfillment, inventory tracking, all the transactions needed. So prior Tensa, there's a lot of Excel management of data. Everything, customer orders is in Excel, inventory is in Excel, lot tracking is in Excel, all the traceability. It will take us time to figure out what lot number or wafer lot number we use because we're all using Excel.
So during the search process, we evaluated all ERP, MRP solutions in the market, which included more well-known names in the market, such as a NetSuite or Epicor. But what we were really looking for was a solution that could come right outside the box and need zero customization. And as a semiconductor company, our supply chain is different than other companies out there where it's a reverse bill of material. We start with one and then we eventually go to many different pieces. When we came to Tensoft, we found the perfect solution as the flow of processes was already built, including inventory management, sales order processing, which put us in a great position to implement the software quickly with limited IT resources internally. The implementation went quite quickly. It was on time and provided extensive training to not only me, but my team, so we could quickly move forward and be focused on running the business and driving growth rather than implementing a system.
It took us just a week to set up our POM, the workflow, the processes, all the entities we need in the system. After less than 80 days, we were able to manage the sales order within Tensoft. We're able to track the inventories, the genealogies, and it was just perfect. Give us a lot of time prior mass production.
The great part about Tensoft is they facilitated supplier integrations. And what the integration provided us was an opportunity to import data seamlessly.
For planners, the feature that they like the most is the WIP integration and the PayPoint integration. These are supplier integrations with our OSATs because we're a fabless semiconductor. We don't own manufacturing line. So it's important for us to track the inventory almost real time, even if we're not seeing the physical lot. SemiOps really helped us in providing the updated inventory that the planners can use for demand fulfillment. It's easy for us to track what lot number we use, when did we ship it, what customer received it. And also for the inventory, Tensoft was able to integrate our system with our OSAT system through a B2B, where the PayPoint and WIP were integrated. We don't need to go through OSAT's Excel file of WIP reports or go through a PDF version of invoice and packing list to understand what they have finished and what we need to pay for them. We just need to take a quick look on the data and just click one button for us to do the transaction, as opposed to a lot of data entry and a lot of checking prior to receiving transaction.
Getting used to Demand Ops and Tensoft was pretty straightforward compared to other systems I've used. Within Demand Ops, there are several features that we found to be very useful in setting up all of our parts and businesses. Specifically, I found the part setup to be very useful because it was able to align marketing parts with internal part numbers, with customer part numbers, and all of these can be mapped together. You can set similar or different descriptions for all of these, and those descriptions are directly pushed onto any invoices or packing lists or anything related to shipments of those products. So it made customization of all of those very, very useful.
Demand ops help us track our orders real time. Everything that we ship, the inventory automatically is netted out of the available on hand, and also it let us track the revenue projections as it has the records of all the shipments and what we are planning to ship on a certain period.
To understand how Tensoft works, we spend some time running reports and make sure we understand how data flows from one to another. And we always do the cross-check from Tensoft to Business Central, and it never works incorrectly. It's always correct, always right. So we can always rely on Tensoft calculation and integration.
For the WIP integration, what the buyers like is they know what would be the ship out dates for every open PO we have on the offset side, which helped us. It saves a lot of time because WIP reports for some of the offsets are coming from either you download it from their system or you get it from your email, which is coming in Excel.
We can pull backlog reports, shipment reports for analytics, and it helps us in general to streamline our customer quote to shipment process.
The booking billing backlog report is very helpful, not just for me, but also for the sales team. That shows all the history in terms of our shipments, part numbers, quantities, even the price, who's the customer who took it, and also the projections in the future. Like on a certain period, we would know through the billing and backlog what is our revenue projection.
So originally we looked at the Tensoft system to manage our inventory. That was only step one of the process. Now we look at Tensoft to not only manage inventory, but manage the cost and having real-time information available to us, especially as a public company. And one of the features that Tensoft has is it integrates seamlessly with Power BI. Power BI has served as a platform for us to use dashboards. And so now we are providing real-time data to not only the finance department, but to the whole C-suite, so they can quickly make decisions without checking with other departments. The finance, accounting, operations team can use Tensoft because it doesn't require any customization. That has allowed us to save a lot of money, and as Tensoft upgrades, we upgrade with it.
For the supply chain transactions, when we became publicly listed, being in Tensoft is like a preparation for all the requirements that the auditors will ask. Like, it just shows all the transparency in the transactions that we needed to run the business, and all the questions that the auditors find that can easily be explained with all the transaction and records we have in the system.
One of the great features about Tensoft is scalability. While our transactions are doubling year over year as we drive revenue growth to double year over year, we have not had to add many resources internally. We recently acquired another company, and that's always a concern with integration, trying to integrate a company as quickly as possible. But with Tensoft, we were able to do that integration very quickly. Similar to the implementation process, the integration process was a matter of weeks rather than months.
Before the acquisition of Genesic by Navitas, there was several things in our process that need to be improved. We were using Google Sheets at the time, and although the system did work well for us at the level we were at, as business has grown under the acquisition, it has been impossible to keep track and manage all of that data in the same way within Google Sheets as is in Demand Ops. It's much easier to keep track of all of that in Demand Ops just because it's all in one place and all the transactions happening in real time.
Navitas has been working with Tensoft for over 6 years. And the reason why we are still working with Tensoft today, yes, the product is great, but it's really the people and the customer service that's there. When we run into problems, we know that we can depend on Tensoft to solve them quickly and efficiently.
I would recommend Tensoft to any fabless semiconductor companies looking for a new ERP system, as it's very straightforward, easy to learn, has streamlined many of our internal processes, and overall is the right tool for the job.